So, interestingly, we have some cats that have a similar look. And it's funny because these are all the ones, well, aside from this one, that aren't like destroying something. Right. Uh, and I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. Yeah, there is that turmoil. It's showing up. Um, but I feel like you're staying calm, collected, right? There's staying in the present moment, kind of just watching like, why did you do that? All right, so we'll start here in the past, the Ten of Pentacles. And, this is that coming to a place of comfort, a place of security, knowing, and I see this hand as spirit, right? Knowing that you're going to be provided for, that you're secure, you're cared for, protected. There's this, which is also repeated here with the Future card. That connection to spirit, the connection with being okay with the unknown here. Right, with this peace card, watching everything with a certain, I was drawn to use this deck because there is a sense of humor, in it. And obviously that's why Spirit had me use it. But this is the center. This is like the present. This is the heart of this. And what I'm seeing, Mies van der Rohe, is actually, it says one lives many lives in a lifetime. A good idea deserves a good aphorism. He's the one who made up those, like, less is more. Right? He was the one who coined some of those phrases that we use in everyday society. And then it says, you van der pseudonym, right? And that goes along with this one lives many lives in a lifetime. He used pseudonyms. He, and what I'm getting from this, and he reinvented Chicago, right? He did the whole cityscape, basically. So it's like, the U.S., I feel, the whole world, really, it's like we're really going through, one lives many lives in a lifetime. I really feel like we are going through this tremendous shift, right? We're moving into this age of Aquarius. Like, we're witnessing this. And I feel like you on an individual level, right there, it's like this rebirth is happening on an individual level, right? The Hermit or Lon here, and on, the global level. And the Hermit, there's this protection here. This, I keep on getting this sense that I'm supposed to, and some of you are probably already doing it, but yoga, right? Meditation, breath work, right? All these things that really tune you into spirit and really build up that aura, right? He's in this bag here. There's this protection, something that's around him, which I'm getting here too. And that's going to help you with all of these aspects, right? Being this King of Cups, being this cat here, smelling the roses, so to speak. And just witnessing all that's going on around us. Now, your goal here, what you're consciously moving toward, is that shift, right? You know, this is a transition, and it says, don't fear pain. Art is an anesthetic. Do you like who you see in your petri dish? Become your paradigm. And I see you studying yourself, studying the U.S. once again, right? It's like the world is getting a facelift. And religion, right? All of these aspects, you know, moving, I see you moving past like the superficialities, right? Why do we spend so much money on plastic surgery and things such as this when there are people who don't have, they don't have enough to eat, right? I mean, like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, to each his own, right? But there's also this sense that, you know, it says become your paradigm. Do you like who you see in your petri dish, right? Doing it on our level and just hoping that, you know, others will follow suit. And it, you know, just kind of watching, you know, there's this tear in the fabric here, right? Seeing that, yes, there's this tear, this, I don't know, you know, divide. Yeah. But it can be fixed, right? And it just starts with us. And there's a certain sense of compassion, right? Once again, you know, we see this cat. You know, I didn't think about the way that cats are destructive. You know, there's been a lot of destruction going on. I'm sure there will continue to be. But you know, it's like there's this compassion for those who don't know a better way of handling their emotions and their desire for change, right? We see this arrow pointing towards the future. And, you know, this cat here wants to go there, but it doesn't know how to get there in a peaceable way. Right? He's like, I'm in this box. I want out. I want to move on. And the only way he knows, you know, he doesn't know that he could just push his way out this way, right? There's an opening. The flap is just closed. He's going to tear his way out, you know? But, you know, but, you know, of course, I just see you seeing that, you know, I'm getting so many messages with these, but also this, you know, you are working with spirit, you're working with others, there's this compassion that you're feeling, and you're just like, even though you don't approve of the way this cat is going about things, you have a compassion and you're willing to work with them, right? You're just like, you're feeling your emotions, you're letting them instruct you, right? Tell you what's going on. That is a big part of, you know, finding peace and developing this high priestess ability is the emotions, because they can teach us so much. And it's like the collective energy is coming in, but because you are in this King of Cups, you are looking at your emotions. You're able to distinguish when you wake up feeling icky and tired, that it's the collective's energy and not your own, right? Do I have any reason to feel this way? No? Well, it might be the collective, right? And then you go about doing the things that you need to do to help yourself build up, you know, the aura and your energy so that you aren't as affected by it. Okay. So, yeah, once again, You know, this underlying your below energy, right? Your subconscious, Amy Winehouse. Learn to love your truant heart. And that is, you know, and because we are all one, we are all want to. You are, you know, you're picking up those collective energies, and you're feeling that compassion. And yes, once again, you know, it's like, you know, the collective has, there's a wheel off and we have the wheel of fortune over here. There's a wheel off the cart, right? We can't move forward. So you're sitting there like looking like, why did you do that? Why are you doing that? But, you know, there's this patience, right? We can get the wheel back on, you know, just, but then there's this honeymoon should last a lifetime. And, you know, it's touching this Four of Wands, right? Which is a honeymoon kind of feel. And there is, you know, with the King of Cups here too. Yeah, there's a little bit of love kind of seeping in here. But, and then treat your scars as your best feature, right? It's like not necessarily forgetting all the things that have happened in the U.S. All of it is a part of our history. We need to, learn how to love those things. The hardships that we've had, the things that we've gone to, they taught us so much. They made us who we are today. And no, some of them maybe shouldn't have happened, right? But we've got, we can't keep on tearing the wound open and letting it bleed again. We've got to learn to love it, right? To look at it with pride. I survived this. And I feel like that is what is really going to get this wheel going again. What's really going to put us in a place of stability and being able to feel like we're on a honeymoon. This is green, which may, and there's this, it's like lilac or something, or lavender perhaps, is that calming, peaceful energy. And once again, we have this cat in the background, with the pole, and it's, probably sharpening its claws, right? It's like, what can I do with this pole? And this is just part of this change that's happening, right? And you're not going to, that eventually all of this will die down, things will calm down, and we can get on with it. Right? But this is just part of the change. And you are just going to, go within or without, right? On the outside, getting in nature, all of these things, really appreciating a beautiful meal with your loved ones. Really taking in a sunset, right? These kind of moments that go by, and if we don't really pay attention to them, we don't enjoy them. And really enjoying each moment, right? This is part of this becoming your paradigm. This transition, this is all a part of it, this tear in the fabric. And then the future is the High Priestess. And yeah, there's some unknown, right? What is going to happen? None of us really know. But that's okay. Because you are connected with spirit. You are, really listening to the inner voice. Looking at the rhythms with the the moon here. I'm getting alchemy even. There's this, you're studying more esoteric types of things. And there's a serenity there because of that. It's like, bring it on. Bring it on. And yeah, there's this comic being here once again, and it's so funny that it's a cat. It wears a mask, and notice that in others too, right? That's where this King of Cups keeps on coming into play, right? When someone's kind of, I think that you are going to be looking at things with a certain amount of humor, but noticing when other people, because see, it's the same, it's an orange cat too. When other people are kind of being sarcastic, or it's kind of one of those things, a mask that somebody wears, knowing when it's not real. And once again, there's that compassion. And with this High Priestess here, you're going to know how to handle these situations. You're super connected. I love it. All right. Let's get a piece of art. We will get closing guidance, and then we'll take a quick look at the underlying energies. All right. For Capricorn. Okay. To left. The awakening conscience. Yeah. And, that's what's going on around us. And we're seeing, like, we're going to be noticing it in others. And see, this guy's like laughing, like, like I said, we're going to see it when it's like a mask that someone else is wearing. And we're going to know how to handle these situations. There's a cat there too. That's hilarious. And the cat, it represents, it keeps on coming up. It's that self-ownership, right? And this woman, and this has been coming up, the women, we're really going to be coming into our own, right? And and this is for the men and the women, right? There's going to be this awakening of the feminine within all of us. And realizing where we've overlooked and made light of some situations that really, she shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable, right? Shouldn't have to feel naked. And of course, we see all this white, this purification of the masculine and the feminine, I feel. Because in here, under this glass, I think it looks to me like it's like a couple, or it's people in there. And that's the new paradigm waiting to be birthed, being protected. So this is telling me, it's like we might not be feeling, it might be kind of like hard. We might read I'm going to read the upright and the reversed position part of this. This is number 22, which is a master number. And they've been coming up a lot lately. These master numbers. Like, this is a time of... we have that 1111 portal this week. So, and then we have this opening here, right? This tear in the fabric. This 74 adds up to an 11. So, yeah, there might be something there, but we'll see what this has to say. But yeah, just what all that's going around, it might be hard to feel blessed, but this is saying, you know, you're going to be blessed. Yeah. Okay, 32, it opened right to it. Being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. Everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. And that's what I was saying, right? Something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected. Grace that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. There are moments in life when, out of the blue, it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know, deep down, you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now. So the protection message. Humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you have hit rock bottom, and what is required now is nothing less than total surrender. Then you will be blessed. Take that if it resonates. Like I said, it came out kind of sideways on here. And, you know, this might be people around you getting blessed that you don't feel deserved it, right? Like, and if so, you know, that's a, you know, that still fits, right? Humility, it's not our place, right? Look in your own petri dish, right? And we have, this is a 2, 2, 2. We have this 2, which is balance. Unfinished symphony. You know, take this if it resonates, right? There might be something that you've been working on that you need to finish. You'll know, right? And this could also be talking about what's going on in the U.S., right? If you've been birthing a creation and there's, you know, kind of put it on pause or something, now might be the time to bring it back to life, right? This rebirth card. And, you know, the veil is being lifted, right? There's a tear in the fabric. And, you know, this is some truth coming to light. This is what, you know, I mean, look at how similar those are, like this in the background here. This truth is what allows us to close a chapter, right? Or of course, there might still be some notes to be played here. You know, we are moving through this. You know, this is a time of transition for all of us. As a whole. So, you know, this could be about that, just going along the journey, that this beautiful new world is being birthed, right? Or this could be about, so, you know, and this is Spirit saying what you're working on is worthy. It is, you know, wonderful, and we want you to finish it. And then once again, I'm pulled to this blessed card, right? It might be time to change some things if you have been blessed in some way, right? that you didn't feel was deserved. If that message that came through here fits, right? Okay. And then we have Henri Matisse. Unleash the beast within. Productivity, even in pajamas. Sketch boldly and paint with a big stick. And once again, you know, this is, if this is a creative project for you, then, you know, this is talking to that. If this is about, you know, just being a guide for others through this transition, it's talking about that, right? This is a time for dreaming, about being bold,